All right, let's get this party started. We're a little early today. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I wanted to figure out if I could listen to music while I do this. All right, cool. So let's get into it. Actually, you know what? The music is distracting. I'm gonna pause this. So last time I was doing this, we worked on the fretboard. Showed you how to basically use FretFind 2D, that really cool website, to generate a DXF what is it? Hold on. Insert. Yeah, DXF file, and use that to place all your frets. So I'm going to continue with this. Oh yeah, we also radiused the fretboard and stuff. But we already did the body. That was a while ago. Today I'm going to work on the actual neck. I'm going to show you how I personally go about doing this. I actually will be doing kind of a Fender style neck joint in this. I know the actual Tiger did not have a bolt-on, but my whole shop is set up for bolt-ons, and I find they're personally easier to work with, and it's the guitar I'm making, so if you don't like it, tough. But it's also going to have an angled headstock, which can get tricky. Also, when you're working with like the backs of guitar necks, like everything up until this point has been what's called 2.5D geometry for the most part, other than the radius of the fretboard. But that's basically when you take like a shape, like a circle, and you just extrude it to a certain depth. But when you start getting things that have much more contour, like the back of a neck, the geometry gets a little weird, and it can get a little tricky when trying to make things like a volute. I'll go over how I do that, but like I know when I was starting out that was really hard. But anyway, I'm going to shut up and get started. So to do this, I'm going to turn this body off for the actual guitar body, and I'm going to start working relative to the geometry of this fretboard. So I'm going to make a sketch on the underside, because ultimately this is going to be the gluing surface that I'm going to join the two, the back of the neck and the fretboard, that is. So I want to try and like kind of base it off of this, because you don't want to have like an oversized neck when you're machining it. Ideally we make these things and they like match perfectly. Then I'm going to project some geometry on here, specifically the 1st and 12th fret, because that's going to basically tell me, you know, like those are my gauges for where I want to like determine the thickness. Oh, for those in the chat who are wondering, this is Fusion 360. So I'm going to hit P for project, and I'm going to select that shape for the 1st fret, and then I gotta count. Hold on. I'm gonna do the 12th fret as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, this guy, I'm gonna project him. Okay, cool. So we have that. Oh, I'm also gonna project this last fret just because I don't want to have. I should turn the body on for this. I want the fretboard to kind of like overhang a little bit. I don't want the heel of the back of the neck to like make this point that we have going on here. So I'm going to project this last fret as well. I'm gonna need that later. Okay, cool. So you got those. I'm gonna turn that body back off. All right. And then I'll just project the whole bottom side of this. Okay, so with the fretboard turned off, I have some key geometry here. I have where the fretboard itself ends. Remember, if you were here last time, I made a little ledge for the nut. And then I got like, you know, my kind of fret marker type things. So I'm going to start by making the length of the fretboard from the 1st fret all the way to the 12th fret, because that's really like, you know, it's like a gentle kind of like way into this more complicated modeling within the program. I'm going to start by making a line that's going to go from my 1st fret and just span the width of the fretboard. Okay. All right, so I have that. And now I'm going to go to the middle of that line, and I'm going to draw a line out. It doesn't really matter to which side, but I'm going to figure out the ultimate, like the thickest part of the neck at the 1st fret with the like minus the thickness of the fretboard. Now, I always use like a 1/4 inch thick fretboard, even with the radius. So whatever your ultimate like final dimension is, it's that minus 0.25. And I'm bad at math, so let me just use my calculator because I'm figuring this out. All right. So say for instance, I want the neck to be a little thicker than usual at the first fret because I will be sanding this. So let's say 0.88 inches minus 0.25. Okay, so that gives me like 0.63 inches. So I almost eyeballed that. All right, 0.63. All right, so I have that center line. I have this like length, which is going to kind of be the apex of this curve that I'm going to work in. And to make that curve, because right now I've just been pretty much working with like straight lines for the majority of this, I'm going to go to create, arc, 3-point arc. This is a great tool. So I'm going to go to my first point, which is where that center line at the first fret intersected with the fretboard, the other side of that line, and then, well, bam, I'm going to snap this guy to that dimension. So that's cool. Now I'm going to move over to the 12th fret, and I'm going to do the same thing for how thick I ultimately want this to be. So let's see, line. Go all the way down there. And this one's easy. I always like the 12th fret to hit an inch at the 12th fret, so an inch minus 0.25, so 0.75. Alright, cool. And then escape, create, arc, 3-point arc. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so now I have these kind of like two profiles that I'm going to use to create the meat of this neck. I'm going to hit finish sketch on this, and you'll see if I like hover over them, they kind of want to light up with their own thing. Oh wait, you know what? I'm actually going to go, hold on, before I go much further, I'm going to delete those frets I projected, because otherwise it won't include that geometry, which is kind of annoying, but whatever, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to delete this guy. Bam. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to hit finish sketch. Okay, so I'm going to actually switch to a different like workspace. So right now I've been working in what is it? Is it design? No. Where is it? Oh, sorry, it's up here. I've been working in the solid workspace. I want to go to the surface workspace because I'm going to basically turn these things into like a sheet of paper that I can rotate. And if that doesn't make sense, just pay attention. I'm going to go to this thing, which is called patch. So it creates a 3D surface. It just turns it into like a face, a solid thing that has like no depth to it. Kind of like me. I'm a solid thing with no depth. All right, so I now have this little like, you know, razor thin orange slice there. Also, what's kind of annoying is that it does turn off your sketches when you do this, so you got to go back and turn them on. But I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, so now I can turn this sketch off. So I have these two slices, but it's like, you know, what good is that going to do us? Just sit tight. So we are going to rotate these. I'm going to go back to solid, modify. Oh wait, you know what? I'm going to do this easy mode. I'm going to hit M to move copy. I'm going to click on that, rotate, and I'm going to rotate it along that flat part. So now I can go like and rotate it 90 degrees. Hit OK. Oh wait, hold on. Did I do that right to the fretboard? Alright, I did. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure I did that. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. M, click on that, rotate my axis that I'm going to rotate along is that straight edge. Alright, 90. Cool. So, now I have these two little orange slices, like if I turn the fretboard back on, they're kind of like making up the back portion of the neck there, which is what I want. I'm going to turn this back on. So we're going to join these two surfaces. To do that, I'm going to go back to surface. I'm going to do create and then loft. All right, so this will like take different profiles and allow you to attach them. So I'm going to select that guy, and then select this guy, and then bam, like it just, like as if you were taking like a tent and you're pulling it across like that kind of like wire frame. It just attaches those. So I'm gonna hit OK. But you'll notice while I do have this kind of like arced back profile for the neck, it's kind of weird. Like these are this kind of yellow color, this is gray. That's because these are partially formed bodies. You can see that in the icons here on the side. So we need to stitch these things together so that they're not partially, you're just like gluing along the seams. So I'm gonna click on that, hold shift, I'm gonna select all of those, then I'm gonna go up here to stitch. And you'll see these little green profiles. That means, you know, everything's good, everything looks good. I'm gonna hit OK. So that has made it into one body. If I turn the fretboard on, you'll see I now have a profile that, you know, spans from the 1st fret to that 12th fret. And you can use this process to really like make necks in whatever dimensions you want. You can do asymmetrical necks. Like I like to just do a typical kind of like C profile, so it arcs all the way until it hits the fretboard, and there it's kind of like 90 degrees, but maybe you want to blend it in. Maybe you want it to, you know, become 90 degrees before then. You can change these arcs, but the whole workflow actually works the same. All right, cool. So I have that. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work on the actual heel. That's probably the next logical step for me. All right, let's go back to this. We're gonna make a new sketch just to keep things kind of simple. I'm gonna project on the back here. I know I did it in the other one, but I'm just gonna do this again. I'm gonna project this last fret. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to determine where the bottom portion of this fretboard is actually going to be. Again, I want this to kind of overhang a little bit, and ideally I like to have material underneath every fret just so that way, you know, whatever, the pressure is even, I guess. Although I do seat my frets when the fretboard's not glued on, but whatever, it's just what I do. So I'm going to make a line, let's say from here, let's do 1/8 of an inch from that point, so 0.125, cool. Alright, line from there to here, no, not 90.5, I want 90 degrees, why is this, what? Alright, this is being annoying. Tab, 90 degrees. Stay like that. Cool. Alright. So this is going to be like the flattest part of the heel where it meets the body. And typically if you, like those are usually around like 3 inches across. I like to contour them, which I'm going to show you how I do. But I'm going to start in the middle and I'm going to extend a line out and I'm going to make it 3 inches because I know that's kind of like a standard heel portion measurement. From there, let's see. So I want this to kind of be the apex of that arc. So if you're doing like a regular Fender style, like neck heel thing, one that's kind of like in a square pocket, a square backing, you could just use this. I'm gonna go one step further and add a little, like a contour to it, so it like kind of matches your hand when you're playing. So let's see. Let me turn the body on just so I'm keeping everything straight. Alright. Cool. So eventually I'll build out the rest of this heel on the body, but for now, let's say I want to do this. So I have to use the 3-point arc before, but I'm going to switch it up a bit. I am going to use, where is it? A spline. This is kind of like if you've ever used, oh, hold on, my cat's at my door. Alright, if you've ever used Illustrator, this is kind of like the pen tool a little bit, but not quite. Although, hold on, is this line not? That line is weird. Hold on, let me fix that first. No, it trimmed too much. Trim. Okay. Alright. So anyway, yeah, splines. They're kind of like the pen tool. It's a little less intuitive than the pen tool, in my opinion, from Illustrator. But you can basically like click at a point. So say like, I don't know, around here, I guess. And you can drag these out and it'll like form a nice little arc. So if you want to do things that are like a little more rounded, a little more, you know, curved, you can do a couple of them. I usually just kind of futz around with this tool because like it's kind of hard to anticipate. It's not as nice as the pen tool. Illustrator really figured that guy out. Oh, what's up, Spyro? This is my cat, Spyro. She's been on the stream a couple of times. Get off the keyboard, bro. Don't like that one. We'll start this back a little further. Sorry, this is one of those things in guitar building that you just kind of like, you play around with until you get it. Alright, I'm kind of... Oh no, I lost it. Damn it, hold on. Guys, I'm blowing it. I'm blowing it. You know, if I were smarter... Oh, never mind. I'm smart enough. I got it. I like this one. Alright. That seems good. So once you're doing the spline and you're like happy with it, you're going to hit check. And that'll bring up all these things, those little nodes and handles that you can go back. You can tweak it. Actually, that probably would have saved me time if I did that, but whatever. So I now have that. Let's turn this body off. Alright, cool. I'm going to turn the fretboard off as well. And I'm going to close these lines. There to there. And there to there. Alright, so this is going to be the kind of like flat portion of our heel that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to lock that in. I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. And I'm going to hit Q to extrude. I'm going to select all that stuff. Oh, whoops, I should have deleted this fret. That's why I deleted the frets earlier when I was doing those little orange slice guys. Alright, and I'm going to extrude this 0.75 inches. Why are you not doing it? Alright, cool. So this is going to be the flat portion of the heel with that contour to, you know, fit with the body. But I made it the same depth as this part, so that way, like, you know, the curved part of the back of the neck will hit an inch here, and then it'll just kind of have an easy transition to there. But as you probably noticed, this is also two different bodies. We want to actually stitch these things together. We want to join them, which can be a little annoying. For that, I'm going to go back to Surface. I'm actually going to select this face and delete it. So now you can actually see it's like I kind of, like if this whole form were made of paper, I kind of just like cut that section out. Yes, this is Fusion 360 that I'm using. And I'm actually going to do the same with this guy. Delete. Alright, and then I'm going to have to join all of these surfaces. Now this can kind of get like a little annoying. You can, how did I do this in the past? I believe I lofted it. let's see how lofting works. I haven't done this in a long time. We're gonna try lofting. So you should be able to do straight profiles. Yes, okay, that is right. All right, so I'm gonna start by doing the top there. So that makes all that gluing surface one continuous form. Nice. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to loft the kind of like curved portion to the flat back here. So I'm gonna select that curve, select this curve, bam. All right, cool. So now, similar to what I was doing like along here, that kind of like goes right into there. Oh wait, what? Yo, I need to go back and fix this. Why is that? No, that is the right dimension. I didn't do it wrong. I was just getting confused from the view. All right. So now we have this connected to there. We have the top connected, but we have these little annoying triangle guys. Those are going to have to be patched. Now, sometimes it will allow you to stitch them or loft. No, doesn't want to let me stitch it. Okay. Can I try patching? Will you let me patch? No. All right. So in that case, we're going to have to do this the really annoying way. I'm going to create a construction plane. So what these are, like all of my sketches before have either been on like flat surfaces like this or on the actual coordinates, like the origin, like the X, Y, or Z plane. But you can make other origin planes, and I'm going to be using those a lot, especially when I get to the angled headstock. But we're going to go under here. There's a whole bunch of options that you can use. I want to do plane through 3 points because these are triangles, and I can select each point of the triangle. So we'll make a flat plane right along there. I'm going to hit OK. And then I am going to create sketch on that plane. I'm going to project those little corners of this triangle guy. Okay. Then I'm going to, sorry, my headphones are coming off. Use the line tool to connect those to make it a closed shape. Finish sketch, patch. I'm going to patch that guy just like I patched those little orange slices before. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Yeah, it's kind of a roundabout way to do this, but I have found this works for me and like, I don't know, makes sense in my head. Now, if you want to clean these edges up, you can go in and fillet things, but there is also a certain point when you're modeling things to like make on the CNC that it's just like, you know, I could spend a half an hour trying to model this just right, or I could just do it the quick way in the program and then just take a file to it later and do it much quicker, and I find that is very useful. Oh, wait, hold on, this thing just is bugging me out right now. Alright, cool. So I'm just doing the same thing on this side. I'm gonna project point 1, point 2, point 3, cool. Make a line. Okay. Go back to surface, we're going to patch that triangle, okay, and now just like I did for those 2 little orange slices, I'm going to select all of this, I'm going to go to stitch, there's a bunch of green, which means we're good, I hit okay, so now this whole thing is just one shape. There will be some things that I'll have to clean up, like this transition from like here, this curved part to this flat part after it comes off the CNC is a little rough, but again, that's just like a little bit of time with a file and you can make that contour really nice. Good, so that's like a decent portion of that. Now let's turn the fretboard back on. I am going to, I got to do a volute on this, so I'm trying to think if it makes sense. I'm actually going to leave this gap here for now. I'm going to switch and start talking about the headstock because doing the volute is probably the most challenging thing, and it's good to have like the geometry of your headstock defined and the geometry at your first fret defined. So, well, my cat's losing her mind. You alright? Okay. It's good to have that stuff defined so that way when you create that transition you can pull from those sketches and whatever. I'm gonna shut up and do this. Alright, so we're gonna make a new another new construction plane because it's gonna be an angled headstock. Now you might think like you could just do a, like if you're doing a fender style headstock you could just do it flat, but because we want the edge of the headstock to be at a right angle to the face of the headstock, I'm gonna have to make a new construction plane, if that makes any sense. Plane at an angle. Plane through two edges. I don't want to do an offset plane. Tangent to face. No. Alright, you know what? Actually, I'm lazy. I'm going to do this the other way. So I'll just patch it and then rotate that face. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Never mind. Sorry, I take back everything I just said. I'm going to do it flat. I'm going to create sketch. And I'm going to do this sketch on this plane. So that way the fretboard's going to end. And then, just as a reference, I'm going to insert, I saved a photo of Tiger's headstock. I'm not going to do the exact thing. Where do I even have this? Icons, guitar templates. No, it should be in downloads, bro. What? Okay, I can't find it. Whatever. I'm gonna re-download it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, gang. Where's a good photo? All of these are like at a weird angle. I need like the actual. Okay, here we go. Alright. Save image as. Save it to downloads. Okay, save. Alright, insert. Canvas. Insert from my computer. There we go, hey. And I'm going to... What? Why is it not letting me do this on the sketch? Oh, I gotta turn my canvases on. What? Oh, this is the old... You know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna use this... Why am I so stupid? I should just use the one from the old canvas. Oh my god. Alright, sorry I just wasted everybody's time. Alright. So now I gotta design something for this. It's gonna have the 3x3 tuners. So basically I want to figure out some kind of silhouette. I'm gonna reuse some of the geometry from the body. So that way I keep it, you know, a little consistent. And then once I have that face established, then I'll rotate it to the whatever 15-degree headstock angle that I want. Or 13 rather, probably. So let's see what we're working with here. Well, I guess it would make most sense to start by projecting where this stuff is leading off. So I like to always try and keep things like, you know, obviously relatively symmetrical. Let's figure out what our center line is going to be and then how long this headstock should be. I think 7¼ is pretty good. I'm also keeping in mind that this is like a little distorted from the photo itself. So, wait, do you primarily start building off an image of a guitar? Oh yeah, if you watch the first stream I did, it's on YouTube. I always start with some kind of photo reference just to kind of get a sense of the scale of things. Alright, so we got that, and then we have these 2 points out here. I'm going to say those are, yeah, let's do 1 1/4, okay. And then 3 inches on either side. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do line 3 inches wide, enter, and then within constraints, I'm going to do midpoint to place this line dead center of that point that we had. Alright, cool. Then to create these kind of arcs so that they're even and consistent, I'm going to go to our old friend 3-point arc. Click there, and bam, there, bam. Alright, let me turn this canvas off to see. Alright, so we got those kind of bouts figured out. Now it's got that taper that kind of goes in. I want to try and pull something else from this design to make it seem like a little more unified. And turn the canvas off. Maybe something. The negative space of those would be a lot. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself right now. Whatever, I'll just keep it pretty close to that, and then I'll just repeat that V at the top, I guess. That'll work. It'll be close enough. Alright, so same thing. So from there up to, let's say, 5.25. And that's a little wider than those lower points, so I'm going to make this, the last one was 3. Let's do 3.25. See how this looks. Constraints, midpoint, take that, put it right there. That's still too narrow. I gotta change that. Let's try, instead of 3.25, let's do 3.5. Yeah, let's see. Let's work. Let's let it ride. Then I'm gonna do an arc. 3-point arc from there to there. That seems pretty good. So I want to have the same exact arc, so I'm just gonna Control-C, Control-V to paste that line. Then I'm gonna rotate it over my center line that I made for my headstock. Flip it negative 180 degrees. So now let's see what we're working with. Alright, looking pretty good. And then I wanted to have it so it's got this kind of like point up here in the middle, and then it kind of like, you know, has those little wings off to the side. What if, alright, I'm gonna, let me do this now. I'm gonna project all this stuff down here. Okay. Copy, paste, drag it up there. Let's flip it. To midpoint it to there. Alright, now this thing is like crazy wide. I'm going to shrink this down so it's going to like kind of match this more subtle curve. a little bit better. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a scale option within that move window, which I think would be a nice feature. If you work for Fusion and you're one of the 5 people watching this, take that into consideration. But you can go up here to modify sketch scale. I have those things selected. Then you're going to select a point to scale it relative to. So I'm just picking that middle point. I'm going to shrink them. 0.25. Okay. I might bring this down a bit. I feel like that's a little too tall. Turn this off. Yeah, he kind of chonk. I'm gonna move this down. All right, and then should I mess with the spline again? It went so well for me the other time. It's too sharp. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. All right, so select. I'm going to select this curve. Control C, Control V, rotate along my center line. Okay. Uh-oh. That shouldn't be happening. Oh, it's because the lower bouts aren't exactly even because of these curves. That's why. Interesting. All right. Whatever. Snip, snip. That's fine. We're gonna clean up some of this stuff. I do want to have a fill. I don't want this to be super pointy up there. I want to kind of round that over. Let's go to fillet. Bring that in. Oh no. I don't like how asymmetrical it is. I gotta fix this. Sorry, gang. I'm gonna keep this half. I'm gonna select these guys. All right. Rotate that. Okay, much better. Now, maybe I do like it as a point. If I get rid of these extra things, these flat parts, does that work for me? Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a little pointy. We love a pointy guitar, don't we, folks? All right, finished sketch. I'm kind of happy with how this is looking. So right now, I'm going to turn that into a surface. I'm going to go back to patch, which we've been using for a lot today. Hit OK. Alright, so now I have this kind of like headstock design. I might go back and tweak this later, but I'm going to use this to kind of figure out the plane that it's going to, like, how I'm going to angle this headstock, basically. So I'm going to do M to move. I'm going to select that, rotate, and I'm going to rotate it along this point, right, or this line. No, stop it. I'm going to rotate it along this line here. And depending on what break you want, I'm going to do 13. I always do 13 on my angled headstocks. So, like, there we go. Now, I have that one flat version of the headstock, you know, basically cut out of paper. I'm going to want to extrude this to the proper depth. So, actually, let me see how thick do I usually make these things. I'm checking with calipers right now. Sorry, this is off screen. Alright. Or actually, hold on. Let me check. I have an older version of a guitar neck in here. Let's... How thick did I make these? 0.6. Okay, that's what I thought. Alright. So, we are going to... Wait, no, sorry. We're going to create an offset plane based off of this angle now. So we're going to construct offset plane. That's the standard one. I'm going to offset it from here, the thickness that I want the actual headstock to be. So negative 0.625 inches. Wait, what? Where did this go? What is happening? All right, let's try that again. Distance negative 0.625 inches. Nope, it should have been positive. All right, cool. Alrighty, so on this plane, I'm going to project this whole thing. Okay. So now I'm going to start working on the volute. Because you want to determine how this is going to kind of like meet up with the rest of this. I like to usually have it kind of like using these kind of like lower points, if that makes sense, as the transition into it. Raw Mr. Guitar Man, that's me. You got me. I am going to... Let's make a center line. We love a center line. Escape, stop. I actually gotta turn this guy off because this is confusing me. Alright. From there to there. Okay. So I want the volute. And also I know, like, this is more of just an aesthetic thing that I'm doing right now. What's up, Jared? This is going to be a scarf joint neck, so I really don't need the volute for whatever stability or anything. I just do it because I think it looks nice on angled headstocks. You can totally skip this step. Let's see. I'm going to shoot from the hip and say 0.75. Alright, I'm going to create an arc. 3-point arc from there to there to there. Alright. So if we do that, I'm gonna make that a little shorter actually. I think I flew too close to the sun. I'm gonna do 0.5. Alright, finish sketch. So now I have the top plane of the guitar headstock. I'm going to do the back plane. And I'm only going to do... Oh wait, what? Patch. I'm only going to do those parts. Because ideally we're going to want this volute to like leave this arc kind of come up to a peak that's behind, like, you know, where the nut is, because that's where it gets like the thinnest, and then transitions nicely into our profile from earlier. Guys, this is starting to look like a guitar. I'm into it. All right. Now let me see if I remember how to do this. Alright. I'm going to create a sketch on... Or actually, before... I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Before I do that, I'm going to join these two. I'm going to loft them. Okay, so that'll put all those together, and then I'm just going to delete these guys. Or actually, delete that one. Yeah. Alright, so now those are at least like kind of attached to each other. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You want to make sure that like the face to the edge is a 90-degree angle. I could model something with 7 strings, but I typically don't because unless somebody custom orders it, I don't really have much of a reason to do it because they're kind of a more niche item. All right, cool. Now we're gonna make a sketch. We're gonna do this balut, fellas and ladies. So I have it like the sketch plane that I'm working on right now is the same plane that the front of the headstock is on. I'm going to make an arc similar to what I did to make the profile of the back of the neck, and then I'm going to rotate it so it's perpendicular to the face of the neck. I know that's a lot of stuff and like major nerd stuff, but like trust. Let's turn that back one off. Oh boy. Whenever you look inside the shapes, it like, you know those, you ever see those optical illusions where it's like a mask and like you look at the back of the mask and you're like, that's the front of the mask. It does that to my brain all the time. Alright, I'm gonna make an arc that's gonna be like really like goofy big. Let's do like, yeah, 2.125. And then create arc, 3-point arc. No, that's a bad way to do that. I'm being silly. Should I do? Was ellipse the? Oh no, conical curve. Sorry. Right? Is this it? Is this the tool I'm thinking of? Whatever. That works. That's fine. What? I don't know what the... Okay. Great. Alright, cool. I'm going to turn these guys off. And I'm going to go to surface. And I'm going to make this a patch. Okay. Then I'm going to rotate this guy. So he's perpendicular. Oh, you know what? I should have projected that arc. Dang it. Alright, sorry gang, hold on. I gotta redo this. I was dumb. Whatever. I'm remembering how to do this. It's been very long. Alright, let's do it from down here then. Again, I want to make this long. Alright. Let's delete this. Delete this. Okay. Should I try that? Like, I should try this weird conical curve thing. I could take the time to read what this tool actually does, but that sounds like it's for nerds. Okay. Surface. Select that. I'm gonna patch. Okay. Cool. Wait, what? Why did you do that? I don't want this body. I want to patch this one. Okay. Great. Alright, now we're gonna rotate this one around this axis 90 degrees, so it is perpendicular to all this stuff. Okay, so this is like obviously way too big for an actual volute, but we're gonna loft it up and then we're gonna chop some of it off. So I'm thinking this is a good starting point. I may have to go back and redo this a couple of times, but I've found this works pretty well in the past. So hopefully I didn't just make myself look like a huge idiot. Let's try to loft this and see if I am as smart as I think I am. Nope, I'm stupid. I can make it work, I think. Because really what we want is basically just some kind of transition. We can round that off later and use fillets to kind of clean it up. Really, I just want to like build up some mass down here. There is a way you can use, I haven't used this feature in a while. There's like guide rails where you can make an arc that it will follow. Yeah, rails. Let me try something. So if I do alright, construct plane. I'm gonna do, oh wait, no, I gotta do it for 3 points. I gotta pick 3 points that are in the center. So like here's one, there's one, and whatever. Is that one? Ah. No, you're not gonna let me do that? Okay, fine. Bro. Just let me select something. Huh? Haha. Our points failed. Oh, they're all collinear. Damn it. Alright. Oh, let me turn on old sketches or something. I'll find one. This guy's in the center point. Okay, cool. Alright, I'll project that. Wait, what? No. No. Get out of here. Cancel. Control Z. I just made my nice little sketch plane. I'm trying to make some rails to see if I can get that volute path to follow a little nicer. Project. Hello? No. Oh my god. Alright, create sketch on here. Project the back of this thing. Okay, cool. Also project this guy. Cool. Alright, we're gonna try and make this work, folks. Arc, 3-point arc. Bam, bam. Okay, that's a little better. Alright, finish sketch. Let's see if this rail option works at all. Maybe I just wasted everybody's time. If I did, I'm sorry. No, just let me pick the right one. Alright, so hey, yo, I am actually a genius. I'm so smart. Alright, sick. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna hit OK. Guys, it was a little touch and go there for a minute, but like that actually worked so much better than I thought it was going to. Okay, cool. Alright, and now I'm going to try and do the same thing on the opposite side. I should probably do another sketch, right? Well, let's see what it looks like if I don't. Maybe I'll save myself some time. Loft, bam, bam. Nope, that sucks. That's horrible. Alright. Guess I should do rails. Create sketch. Sorry, gang. I'm gonna have to call it like quits in about 5 minutes. I gotta make dinner. I probably won't finish this volute right now. I'll pick back up with it next week. But I'm gonna see if I can at least get this thing done, and then next week I can like go over refining this stuff. What? No, I wanna make a sketch on this plane. Why are you doing that? All right. Project. I want to project this arc. And I also want to project this arc. No. Okay. Gotta make my little railie guys. And again, I know I've said this a bunch, but this is like incredibly exaggerated for what I'm doing. I'm gonna clean all of this stuff up a little later. No, loft. Let's see if I can do it twice. Bam. Okay, cool. Yeah, there are some weird things, like you can see it's like over exaggerating this arc on the underside. Next week I'll go over how we're going to take that and clean those things up. Also how we take this gigantic peak of a volute and actually like make it a nice smooth transition as opposed to like, you know, this weird pointy thing. But you got to start off with some extremes before you can actually, you know, refine it and have a good form. But yeah, I guess next week will just be the second part of the neck. I'll go over how, you know, making the holes for the tuners, truss rod slot, and all that. And then, yeah, if there's anything I went over that you missed, I'll post this all on YouTube in a little while, so you can check that out. But hope you found some of this useful. I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.